Hey everyone, welcome back to the art project. If you're new here, please subscribe. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Give me give me a little help on my channel. Today we're diving into the world of Hebru Brantley, an artist whose work is bold, vibrant, and packed with storytelling. If you've ever seen his signature characters, Flyboy and Lil Mama, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, don't worry, we're going to explore his life, his art, and why he's such an important figure in today's art scene. So let's start with the basics. Hebru Brantley was born and raised on the south side of Chicago. Growing up, he was heavily influenced by comic books, hip-hop, and graffiti culture, things that you can still see in his work today. But one of the biggest influences on him as a kid was the Afri-Cobra movement. If you're not familiar with Afri-Cobra, it was a group of black artists from the 1960s and 70s who focused on uplifting black culture through art. Their use of bright colors, strong figures, and powerful messages definitely rubbed off on Brantley. Now, what really makes Brantley's art stand out is his storytelling. His work isn't just about making something look cool, there's depth behind it. Take his most famous character, Flyboy, for example. At first glance, Flyboy looks like a kid with aviator goggles and a confident stance. But the character is actually inspired by the Tuskegee Airmen, the first black military pilots in the U.S. Their legacy of courage and breaking barriers is something Brantley weaves into Flyboy, turning him into a symbol of hope, imagination, and overcoming obstacles. Another one of his well-known characters is Lil Mama. She's got a similar youthful energy to Flyboy, but with a different attitude, bold, independent, and sometimes even defiant. Both Flyboy and Lil Mama represent more than just characters. They're about giving young black kids a sense of pride, adventure, and a vision of themselves as heroes in their own stories. Brantley's art is all over the place, literally. He's done murals in Chicago, Atlanta, and Miami, and his work has been showcased in galleries around the world. But what's really cool is that his art isn't limited to just canvases and murals. He's worked with brands like Nike, Hublot, and even Jay-Z's Rock Nation. He's also done sculptures and installations that bring his characters into the real world in a big way. One of his most iconic installations was his Nevermore Park exhibit in Chicago. Imagine walking into an immersive world where you're surrounded by Brantley's art, stories, and characters. It was like stepping inside his imagination, and it gave visitors a chance to connect with his work in a whole new way. But beyond just being a successful artist, Brantley's work carries a message. He challenges stereotypes, rewrites narratives, and creates art that empowers. He's showing young artists, especially black artists, that they can tell their own stories and make a name for themselves in the art world. So why does Hebru Brantley matter? Well, because he's redefining what contemporary art can be. He's blending pop culture, history, and activism into something fresh and meaningful. His work speaks to people on so many levels, whether you are into street art, fine art, or just love a good story. And there you have it, a glimpse into the world of Hebru Brantley. If you enjoyed this, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think of his work. Who's your favorite contemporary artist? Let's talk about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Wait, before I go, let's round this out. Still got 2 minutes left of video. This is my rendition of one of his paintings. I didn't do near as good a job as he did, but I'll tell you some of the things that I found fantastic about it. One, he's got his own character, Flyboy and Lil Mama, as we talked about. But not only that, but in his paintings, sometimes Flyboy can fly. He wears the goggles. The goggles, I think, are a fun way to do the eyes without actually having to do eyes if you're a student, and you're not good with eyes. Notice, though, the foreshortening in his fist that's coming towards you, or the foreshortening in his body. So it's not that he's incapable of doing eyes, I'm sure. Also, I love all the extra writing and sort of graffiti and marking that underlie all of the paint in his painting. I tried to capture this painting the way it was in real life. However, his painting was more of a square, not quite square, but I don't think, but more of a square, and mine is on this long door. So it's not one for one, of course, but I tried to use similar colors, similar style, and of course, do it justice. So it took me a couple of days to do this while teaching and while kids were watching. I got the chance to talk to some students about different black artists for Black History Month. Last year, I did a little segment on Kehinde Wiley that turned out pretty good. And I enjoy doing these. These are a lot of fun. And every year I learn a little bit about a new artist. And this year was Hebru Brantley. I think I like Hebru's work better than I like Kehinde's work. Both of them have amazing abilities, amazing skills. But my preference leaned towards sort of the graffiti, the more Basquiat type style of Hebru Brantley's work. I highly recommend you try looking up some of his work, see what else he does. Amazing stuff. He's got some really cool pictures of Flyboy dressed as Spider-Man with interesting little details like ripped fabric in the costume or patches. It's fantastic. Really good stuff. Anyway, that pretty much sums it up. I hope you enjoyed it. As I've said a couple times already in this video, give me a thumbs up. Share this on Facebook or with your students if you are a teacher, art teacher. And it's your turn. Go make some art. Go copy somebody else's artwork and see what it took for them to make that artwork. Here are some final kind of close-ups of what I did.